This is the Audio-Technica ATH-TWX7, the more affordable sibling to the flagship TWX9. Reviewing this earphone, guys, was one of those times where something had come so close to being perfect, I could cry. But I'm a man, we don't cry. We eat steak and drink beer, dang it. But why did you have to be so close? I feel so vulnerable right now. The Audio-Technica ATH-TWX7, a little bit of a mouthful of a name there, but it retails for $200 and it comes in 3 colorways, guys. There is rich white, ash black, as well as this one, which is called stone gray. A really nice color combination if you ask me. Bluetooth 5.1 on board. It would have been nice to see 5.3 at this time of the year, and at this price point, there is support for SBC, AAC, and LDAC. The TWX9, the more expensive model, has aptX lossless in place of LDAC, in case you're wondering. There is active noise cancellation with pass-through, and I'll rate active noise cancellation a C+, in case you're also wondering about that. In the business end of things, 6mm dynamic drivers on each side, and these are identical or carry over from the more expensive TWX9, and we'll talk more about SQ in a bit. IPX4 water dust resistance. Again, at this price, I would have liked to see IPX5 or 7 for more water resistance there for working out and such, and just more security. The weight on each earbud is 4.7 grams, really light, and especially spread out really nicely with these stem style design. And at least for my ears, they're really nice in there. Battery life, I got around 6.4 hours with active noise cancellation on with AAC, but that drops a little bit to like 5.7 hours with LDAC, a little bit on the low side for this price point, again, for premium earbuds. By the way, in case you're wondering, there is no auto pause play on this, or spatial audio, or the UV sanitizing thing that you'll find on the pricier TWX9. I'll tell you what, guys, this thing passes the shake test like no other earbud I've tested so far. It just doesn't budge. There's not a single rattle. I've done this tens of times. I can never hear a rattle. It doesn't shift in its cavity, so it stays put. Really awesome. And I think it's a combination of strong magnets and also the highly frictional surfaces on the inside that creates like a small vacuum seal of sorts. But you know, double thumbs up to that. One thumbs down is to the lid. It doesn't stay locked, kind of flops, you can see in its vertical position, but at least the magnet is nice and strong. Material's really nice, very grippy all around, very similar to the inside as well, and the ear tips and the earbuds themselves too. Wireless charging as well as USB-C, in case you're looking. This thing is a little bit thick, isn't it? It's at least not as thick as a TWX9, but this will create a bulge. And it also kind of looks like a footrest that you find at the bottom of your desk, don't it? But at least it's different of a design. Some of you may or may not like it. I'm on the fence on this one in terms of size, but I like the design of this. At least they're trying. And this is really well put together, by the way. On the ear tip side or the earbud side, this thing is so unique too. Like that's plastic, and that's metal right there, encasing, and more grippy plastics on the inside. The ear tips are super easy to remove and reinstall as well. And really well put together, guys. As you can see, I'm gonna not try that right now. As you can see, there is no wear detection window because this has none. But this one thing that's carried over from the TWX9 as well is the touch system. There is touch controls right here on the side, as well as a button, which is super awesome to see. In the packaging, which is really nice, by the way, the packaging itself is it's all paper and really packaged nicely, really well thought out. But in the packaging, this is really unique, and I've never seen this before. A carry case for your case. This is also made of like some kind of recycled fabric. It has a drawstring with a label right there. And also on the inside, you have your usual ear tips, but there is quite a lot. There's 2 sets of extra small, and medium and large of low profile in a paper packaging, as well as extra small, medium, large of tall profile ear tips. Alrighty then, we're outside with the TWX7s, and we're going to be doing 2 things, guys. First of all is the Bluetooth range test, and then I'm going to take the earbuds down to the road to get some sound samples to see how the mics handle noise suppression. I have Chris Isaac playing Wicked right now on my Pixel 7 Pro, piping through the earbuds, and let's take this for a walk. Bluetooth 5.3 should have a decent range and also good stability. Where I'm standing right now is around 25 feet away from the phone. And let's take this towards the side of my house, and my guess is gonna drop or have signal drops right around now. Yep, sure enough, right here around 38 feet. So not bad, that's on spec. So and as we walk around, you can see the fit of these and how they look in the ears. This is one of my favorite fitting earbuds of the year. Let's put it that way. Wow, the wind is strong, which would be really nice for later on the mic test. It's still holding on to the signal. Usually I get a disconnect from most Bluetooth 5.3 equipped earbuds, but not this time. Oh, there it is, right there. Just disconnected. But anyways, let's test this while running. Super stable, super comfortable, no jostling around in my ears. I love these guys. And one thing I'll talk about this later on is the controls. So for those of you who, lament having touch controls, which these do have, having touch controls while you work out or run, because they're hard to, sometimes like, my hands are moving around, everything is jostling around. This one has the option, or has physical buttons as well. So you got options, guys. If you like your touch, go for it. If you like to press things, it's there as well. So right now I have the ATX7s set to natural mode. In the app, there's two options you can pick from. There is noise reduction, which is more aggressive and it lowers your voice, just makes you sound like you're in a tunnel and just kills pretty much over almost every other noise out there. But it's still susceptible to wind noise, even though it says, it will kill off a little bit of wind. It doesn't work very well. I keep it in natural, but at the expense with, really nice voice quality, but at the expense of ultimate noise reduction performance. I would say it tries to keep as much of the external environment going as possible. So some of you may or may not prefer it, or your listeners may or may not prefer it. But as you can hear, the noise suppression algorithm is pretty good, actually. Not the best I've heard. I've tested the Cambridge Audio M100 Melomania just a few minutes ago, and go watch that video. It's this is miles better. So well done, Audio-Technica, in that situation. But let me try switching to noise reduction mode, and you can hear for yourselves what that sounds like, and I hope it shows up in the recording. Now it's in noise reduction mode. Did that show up? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Plenty of traffic to test right now, and the wind is also picking up. So testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can tell that the voice is a little bit more compressed. I feel it sounds like I'm in a box or something, and everything just sounds more digitized. The app experience is pretty straightforward for the most part, even if it ain't necessarily the prettiest. Under ambience control, you can switch between noise cancellation, off, and hear through. And if you think tapping the gear icon takes you to more granular controls like other devices, this thing takes you to another screen where you can, once again, switch between noise cancellation, off, and hear through. For equalizer, there are 5 EQ presets to choose from, plus a 5-band manual parametric. It's cool that the app shows what the actual audio graphs are for each of the built-in and saved presets. A really nice touch there. Not as nice is that if you're in LDAC mode, using the EQ halves your available sample rate. Now, tapping the list icon on the top right takes you to deeper settings where you'll find redundancy menus for many of the stuff on the main screen. However, there are a couple of unique ones near the bottom, such as the ability to set volume adjustment levels from 16 steps to 32 steps to 64 steps. Adjust left-right sound balance, as well as change how you want the mics to process noise during phone calls. Something quite rare there. System is where you find the mother of all control customizations under key assignment. Here, users can set up what the touch sensors and physical buttons on the earbuds do between like single, double, triple taps, as well as hold. It's really quite comprehensive, guys. Audio quality wise, there's more that I thoroughly enjoy than not. So the TWX7 has its issues, but it's here in the positives because ultimately I just prefer listening to tunes on this thing than say the XM5. In default tune, the Audio-Technica has a cozy and thankfully not woolly low end, and a mid-range that's neutral to a fault, and a low to mid treble that's a little boosted for that extra bit of detail without being grating, It's quite neutral sounding, actually, something that you don't often find on a consumer premium device. But the TWX7 has some flexibility as well for tweaking in the EQ if you want to. On the flip side, there are a couple of Debbie Downers that hopefully Audio-Technica considers and maybe issues an update for. Like for one, anything below 70 Hertz feels flat, as if like sub-bass doesn't want to play when you ask it to. Secondly, imaging is rather two-dimensional. So yeah, this thing is quite close to being great. You can just smell it. It's just missing those couple of pieces that could have brought some extra sparkle to beat out the honestly color by numbers tuning of other big brands. It seems like the TWX7 is one of those products where the designers actually worked side by side with the engineers to come up with something that, in my opinion, not only looks bloody fantastic with a modern industrial BMW performance steering wheel design with the whole minimalistic mix of metal and soft plastic, but also brings tons of grip and ergonomics for the user. On the topic of ergo, can I just say thank you, Audio-Technica, for giving us both touch and physical controls that you can customize to your heart's desire. Oh yes, if you, like myself, can't stand touch gestures on headphones and earbuds, you have the option here to ignore it and just use the conveniently placed button on each stem. It's like the TWX9, in fact. On the other hand, if you happen to literally be like a control freak, feel free, go ahead. Assign dedicated presses, holds, or taps for every feature and command available on the 7 at your fingertips. To think that Audio-Technica was on a good run only to screw it up with so-so battery life with ANC on, and these side-mounted LED status lights that blink right into the face of the person sitting right next to you on a night flight. What the heck, man? Yes, it really does that. Anytime media is paused or not playing, those lights are bright enough to be mistaken for an aircraft. Oh, and also let's not forget this little nugget. I don't remember another earphone that halves the maximum sample rate of LDAC whenever you want to use the EQ. And in case you missed that, what I just said, you only get 48 kHz with LDAC if you use EQ. I feel like I'm being shortchanged here, so what the heck again? And I know most humans can't discern the difference between 48 kHz versus 96 anyway, so come on, Aaron. Why are you being a whiny baby, you might ask? Well, in case you forgot, I am emotionally compromised right now. I'm gonna say this again, just in case Audio-Technica actually is watching, along with, the other 7 of y'all watching this too. Fix the bloody LED, like give us the option to turn it off at least, as well as the no EQ in LDAC mode nonsense. I think if those can be rectified through a firmware fix, this thing I would say would be a serious contender for one of my favorite earphones of the year. Still, regardless of whether those negatives are deal breakers or not, you ought to give the Audio-Technica a spin. It may actually surprise you. The sound is above average, the design and materials are baller, the control setup is a lesson of how to give users the control they want, and the sub $200 entry price is nice as well. Of course, for $20 more, you can get the amazing Cambridge Audio Melanoma M100. Okay, I'm gonna go in a corner right now because this thing is so close to being a masterpiece, guys. Audio-Technica version 2.0 or firmware fix or something, please, come on. Anyways, if you like what you see, if you like what I do, if you like to get more content like Audio-Technica sending me stuff, subscribe, thumbs up this video, reshare the heck out of this channel with your friends, get the word of Gear Up and this Asian guy who pretends to sound like an American with his accent. Get the word out there on the mouths of people. Yes, thank you so much, guys, for being here. I really appreciate y'all. And remember to do something loving and kind for somebody in this world, because guess what? If you haven't seen the news, the world needs it more than ever, and it starts with y'all. I love y'all so much. Peace out and God bless. Whoosh.